So here we are at the same auction we just looked at in the previous video. As you can see, a lot of these items weren't there on the website. That's completely normal. Most auctioneers only list 10 to 50% of the items they have for sale. And then additional items may come in later, or they just may think they're lower dollar items and just list them as box lots and take a picture of one or two of the boxes. Now, box lots can actually yield some amazing values, and we'll show you some of the things we're going to get from this auction later on. But you look at some of the high dollar items that were published on the site, there's other people doing research before they get to the auction. Now, this doesn't mean ignore the items you researched, because a lot of those items can still yield some major profits, and a lot of them will go lower than you'd expect. So there's still opportunity there. But even on a crowded auction where there's tons of people bidding product up, there's still that opportunity to find all the items that nobody else even noticed were there because they were so focused on what they saw on the website. Now, as we're showing you what some of these things are worth, we may stop and take a really close look at some of the items. But going through here, dolls can be extremely profitable, but you have to know what you're looking for. And you have to understand that there's a lot of knockoffs on classic dolls out there. So if you're going to go into antiques, collectibles, dolls, make sure you're knowledgeable before you go, or make sure you're really, really good at researching product. Now, right here I see a Callaway Big Bertha and a Wilson leather bag. That's worth some money. So traditionally, golf clubs go fairly low at auctions that aren't located in golf towns. So there's huge opportunity there as well, especially when you can pick them up for $5 to $10 a bag at most auctions. Now, going down the line, there's some good stuff here. Recurve bows, some statues, a tent that could be ripped or leak, but there's a find right there. That is a military modular sleeping system, EWCS. I know this because I was in the military. Some people might not notice that, but I know these sell for anywhere between $100 and $300 online. Now, that's a good find, but moving forward, you're going to see there's a lot of just junk, and a lot of that junk goes for junk prices. So don't overlook everything just because it looks like junk. Some of it will sell so cheap that you could make a profit off of it with your eyes closed. Now, pictures, I generally don't like shipping pictures, so I avoid framed photos and things like that. But I won't turn down a profit. So I'm going to research some of these anyways as we go forward, see what we find out. Now, there's some Caterpillar boots that look almost brand new. If that box of shoes goes for $1, that might be a value. Going over here, I see some poker sets. Heavyweight poker chips go for a lot of money. Classic toys. These things need researched. You can't overlook the box lots just because it looks like it's full of junk. Dig a little bit. See what you can find. There are some amazing treasures right in front of you. You won't know they're there until you start looking. Research, research, research. That is your best tool, whether it's before the auction or live on your iPhone or smartphone. Finding out what you're looking at is important when it comes to comic books, looking at condition, moving on to some electronics. These things you need to research and see what they're worth. Another tip, get to know the people who work at the auction house, because I already know this item here, it doesn't even work. They had it plugged in for hours. No lights, no nothing. They're not going to say anything during the auction, so you need to be ready for that. Well, it's time for me to get into one of the rings and start bidding. So I'm going to head over and buy some items. We're going to bring those back to the shop. We're going to take a quick video and show you what we got, and then we're going to show you how to capitalize on it, how to make the most profit off of your finds at the auction. Now keep in mind, the first step in making profit is right here. It's buying smart and buying cheap. Okay, now that we're back, we're going to take a look at some of the items we got in the auction. Here we have a set of taillights from, I believe, a 1967 Chevy Impala. Might be a Biscayne. We're going to do a little research on that later. Up here we've got a DuckTales fishing pole, probably early 80s, 1980 to 1983, during the show's prime. And then we've got a nice PC power supply. It came in a box lot, just a random item. We have a box of music boxes. Those are Sankyo music boxes. You might not know what those are, but they sell for a few dollars a piece. And when you get the whole box in a box lot for a couple of dollars, it's well worth it. Got some folders down below. These are Smead poly classification folders. They sell for about $20 a box. There's 6 boxes in that box. Going back over, we got a Kirby accessory, some vintage light bright pegs. It's about $10, but that came with a box lot. And again, some just miscellaneous items that came with the box lot. There's a Weed Eater brand, model 2510 Weed Eater leaf blower. Got the levels back there. Got one of them that's an antique Stanley, and then we got just a cheapo normal construction level. GameCube, a vacuum cleaner and accessories. The Star Trek commemorative edition online game with the communicator pin. And there's my sleeping bag that I told you about when we were at the auction. We did get that. There's a small first aid kit there that's got some precision wood carving tools in it. We did get the Callaway Big Bertha driver. It only went for $5 a bag for the golf bag, so I picked out the 2 that I thought were the most profitable. You can't lose money on those golf clubs. All you have to do is sell one good one and you're set. We got the World of Warcraft book autographed with a certificate of authenticity. Comes in a fancy gift box. The gift box shows some wear, which is going to lower our profits, but we didn't pay for this item. It came in a box lot with something else we wanted. Now we're going to take a quick look at the invoice so you can see what we actually spent. We went with a budget of $100. That was our plan. We did go $3 over budget, spending a total of $103 on 11 lots. Now, as you can see, we already sold 2 of the items on one of our test accounts. We sold a Sankyo S3 music box, which are one of the ones that we told you we paid a couple dollars for a lot of 43 units. So you're looking at $7.99 with free shipping. So we made roughly $5 profit off of an item we paid less than a few cents for. Going down, we hit the Star Trek Collector's Online Edition. Sold that for $44. That's a pretty good profit on an item you only paid a few dollars for as well. So there's a lot of money to be made just on the box lots. And keep in mind, those are both items that we didn't even see online. And in the first day, they sold. So in our first day of listing, we threw up $700 worth of product. We already sold about $50 worth of product. And we're sitting on $650 still listed and ready to sell. In other words, that 2 days of work, 1 day at the auction and doing research and 1 day of listing, makes you $700. You could break that down to about $350 a day over time. And if you can continue doing this and continue building it, there's no limit to where you can go with this. Now, what have we learned? Research, buy smart, make money. So now it's your turn. Let's get out there and let's make some money. I hope you enjoy the rest of the videos. This is Zero to Power Seller.